Hey everyone, welcome to the KetonExpress Summit. We are here today with Maria Emmerich from Keto Adapt, and we're so thrilled to have her here, and we're excited about the conversation that we're going to have with you. But I wanted to introduce her real quick. For those of you who don't know Maria, she is amazing, and she has some amazing wisdom and insight in the keto space. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about her and how she got started as a wellness and nutrition and exercise coach and advisor. She's the founder at KetoAdapted.com, and her success helping others stems from her passion really for helping others and helping them reach and sustain optimal health through programs and education that works on a personalized level. So after struggling, she's going to tell us a little bit more about this, but after struggling with her weight throughout her childhood, she decided to study health and wellness so that she could help others who are discouraged with their appearance and don't feel their best mentally. And she's also the author of some really great cookbooks. She has 3 nutritional guidebooks, including global bestsellers, the Ketogenic Cookbook, and her brand new book, Quick and Easy Ketogenic Cooking. You can find Maria at her blog, mariamindbodyhealth.com, and there she shares a unique combination of innovative recipes using alternative ingredients to less healthy options and easy to understand explanations of why these options are actually better for our health. So welcome, Maria. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. It is an honor. Thank you.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us about your keto journey and how you found the ketogenic diet and adopted that?
Well, I grew up overweight and very unhealthy. I remember the exact moment that I wanted to become a nutritionist. I went to the doctor because I just had some awful symptoms going on. I left with 3 prescriptions. One was for acid blockers, one was an antidepressant, and one was because I was suffering from PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's kind of like diabetes that affects your fertility, which they said I could do nothing about. So I left with those 3 prescriptions, but that same week I went to the vet because my dog was losing patches of her hair. And the first question that my vet asked me was, "What are you feeding her?"
Oh my goodness.
That was something that my doctor never asked me, not once. And I was living off of, cereal and skim milk and just really junky food that were, all these kids are living off of. And I went home, I changed her diet and my diet at the same time. I never filled those prescriptions. And I went to college for nutrition, science, and exercise physiology. And it is a little sad what I was taught in college, but I knew what needed to be done. And I started my practice, and it was keto, not really knowing what keto was, 15 years ago. But it's just gone gangbusters now. What's interesting is I actually didn't start my practice right when I left college. I was a rock climbing guide. And I wanted to be, that's what I was for a long time. And I wanted to be a mom. My husband was going to be the breadwinner. I was going to be the mother. And what happened was he had a job loss, and we lost everything. We lost even our cars. And I was so sad at that moment. I had a dear friend say, "You're going to start a blog and you're going to write down these wonderful recipes that you have." And she said, "You're going to make a little cookbook and people are going to help fund your adoption," because we were adopting 2 children. And look what happened. It just went gangbusters. And through that terrible sadness that we went through came this wonderful, I'm an introvert. I love being behind my computer and helping people. And so I'm so grateful. So I know that was a really long-winded answer, but that's how I started.
Yeah, I love it. That's just a beautiful example of how this it works. So you said it was sad what you were taught in college. What was it that, what were the nutritional principles that they were teaching you that really aren't in alignment with what you teach now?
At that time, it was the food pyramid guide, 7 to 11 grains.
Carbs.
Carbs, and Skim milk was a big one.
No fat. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so, and it's still kind of touted that way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So luckily I'm not in school now, because I would be like, excuse me. But now, at that time, it was nice because I did well in school, but then I just knew that never worked for me. I mean, I lived off of Special K and skim milk, and I was running marathons and still gaining weight, and being so sensitive to carbohydrates. Obviously, I knew that wasn't going to be what I was going to practice.
Right. And so then you went on to heal a lot of your own issues with these principles that you came to understand for yourself, which, so for anybody who's not, how would you define the ketogenic or keto adapted lifestyle?
The keto adapted lifestyle is keeping carbs to as low as possible. We joke that we're carnivores in our house. You want to hit your protein goal, so you keep your muscle mass, and then it depends on what your goal is for ketogenic diets. You want to use the fat as a lever. So if you're not in it for weight loss, if it's more for mental health, cancer, epilepsy, seizures, then your fat lever will be up there. If it's for weight loss, then you want to utilize your body fat for ketones. So then that lever is going to change a little bit. So it's very individualized. So that's why, that it's more about, if you keep your carbs to a minimum, hit your protein goal, and then find your fat lever there that way.
I love it. And so that concept of high fat, that's the therapeutic factor there. It's really
right. I mean, if you have a lot of fat on your body, it will be a high fat diet, because you're going to utilize your body fat to make those ketones.
Yeah.
And that's why when you get really high ketones, when you're fasting, you're not eating high fat, you're eating nothing. It's coming from your own body fat to make those ketones. Yep.
Very cool. Okay, great. All right. So what are some of the biggest benefits that you've seen from the ketogenic diet over other forms or other diets? Like, obviously we were talking about the SAD diet, which is lots of carbs and no fat, but there's other diets out there. Why is keto?
Well, I guess I like to call this the happy diet, because I mean, when you look at what makes neurotransmitters, and neurotransmitters are like dopamine, serotonin, those really feel good chemicals. Amino acids make those, and amino acids come from protein. So you have to look at that. And then the sheath of your cells are made up of fats and happy fats. So, the good quality fats, not trans fats or anything like that. And so a combination of those two, it's not carbohydrates. It's those two things that really help affect your brain chemicals like serotonin and dopamine. But then also other benefits. I work with a lot of people with osteopenia and osteoporosis. And when you look at the SAD diet, the standard American diet, you're told that you need to eat every 2 to 3 hours to fuel your metabolism. What happens when you run out of that fuel is that it steals from either your lean mass or your bone tissue. And that's why bodybuilders, they often wake up to eat so they don't lose their lean tissue, because they want to keep their muscle mass and stuff. But what's really scary is it's stealing from our bone mass. And that's why osteoporosis, osteopenia is, a big factor right now with people. But when you are in a ketogenic state, when you are in a fasted state, sleeping, it's going to steal from your fat stores, and so that's why it's great for bone health. But not only that, the sheath of your bones are made up of fat, but not just any fat. They're made up of the demonized saturated fat that we've been told not to eat. And that's another reason why osteoporosis is getting to be a problem, is because people are told to not eat saturated fat. So they're afraid of it. And I had my great grandma, she fell down the steps when she was 96 years old onto the basement of the concrete basement. She didn't break one bone. But you know what? Whenever I went over to her house, she had a coffee cup of lard And I always wanted to throw that out. And she's like, no, Maria, that's like
she cooks with it.
So fat. And so I learned a lot from that wonderful woman. Yeah,
no, it's amazing. Some of that ancient wisdom, I don't know how we got away from it. It's amazing. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's very cool. I think it's fascinating because a lot of people come to the ketogenic diet from a weight loss mindset. They come to it thinking, I want to lose weight. And that's great because it does accelerate weight loss and it's a great way to lose weight. But there's so many other benefits too.
Absolutely.
My next question for you, like, is the ketogenic lifestyle, is it sustainable? And how do you sustain that? Like,
well, I have, my whole family eats this way. I'm not a short order cook. I have a 7 and an 8-year-old, and
good for you.
That's the way we do it. I think it's very sustainable. People worry about the cost of eating healthy, but what's great about the ketogenic diet is you're very satiated on a small amount of food. And so that's why it is great for weight loss, because I don't look at my book reviews because I'm such a sensitive person, but my husband told me that someone wrote, I don't like this diet. I'm always full. And it's like,
that's good.
I was plagued with being hangry all the time in my past life where, you know, it would be 11 o'clock and I'm like, when is lunch? When is lunch? You know, and now it's like, oh my gosh, it's like 1 o'clock and I haven't eaten yet. You know? And I see that in my kids. They're not,
snacking all the time.
Oh yeah. We homeschool and
so sweet. That's beautiful. Yeah. I love it.
I'm finding more and more people doing it. But they went to camp for this activity day, and I was supposed to bring a morning snack and an afternoon snack along with, you know, a lunch. And they're like, we don't need all that food. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be judged. It's there if you need it. If you don't, keep playing. It's all cool, you know?
And of course, they probably brought half of it home, huh?
They did. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just so much better for their brain development to have those good, healthy fats and proteins, and without all the sugar, right?
Right. I have one son that would, you know, he would be ADHD if he wasn't eating this way, and very hard to manage. And he's definitely much calmer now. Both of my children are adopted, so I've seen them on a high carb diet and I've seen them on a ketogenic diet. And they are fantastic on a ketogenic diet. Otherwise, they're total boys and crazy.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, I totally believe it. My kids aren't on a ketogenic diet. Honestly, we don't practice that with them just for logistical reasons, and it's newer to our family, but I can see the difference when they get good, healthy fats and protein, and it's not carb food, especially those simple carbs. So definitely see the difference. Okay. So, what are some of your biggest success tips then for someone on the ketogenic diet? Like, how do you incorporate that and jump in and start to embrace that?
You know, I have a fantastic mother. However, even at the young age of being in kindergarten, she worked. And I remember coming home from school a lot of days and she'd be like, oh my gosh, I don't have anything planned for dinner. And I could feel her anxiety. And we all learn from our parents. And so that was something that I'm very busy. I don't need more anxiety or things to think about throughout the day. And so while my kids help clean up dinner, I prepare dinner for the next night.
Oh, very cool.
So I'm always one step ahead. And I love a slow cooker. Everybody's into the Instant Pot thing, but I'm more into the slow cooker because I'm busy. I am not always around to take care of the Instant Pot. So I film my slow cooker. I actually have 3. I actually have a slow cooker book just because I love it so much, a cookbook. And I'll have a main dish, a side dish, and a dessert in my 3 slow cookers. And what I do is I fill them up the night before. It takes maybe 10 minutes. And then I put the covers on and put them in the fridge. And then all I have to do in the morning is take them out and turn them on. And then dinner's ready and I didn't have to do anything.
That is brilliant. As a busy mom, like that just blew my mind. I'm so excited to try that. That's awesome.
But also the whole idea of having family dinners together. I work with different psychologists and one had a great thing that said, it's not about eating family dinners together. It's about actually having family time together. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times when you're having dinner, you're eating, you're not really talking that much. And, you should be focused on the food or whatever. And so it's more about finding family time. And so like on Sundays, we'll make a lot of my protein noodle lasagna or my keto pizzas. And we'll do maybe like 4 batches of lasagna and probably more like 10 pizzas. And we'll put them in the freezer. And then the days that we want lasagna, all I have to do is put it in my delay timer in the morning. Oh, cool. And so it'll start cooking maybe about noon, and then, it's ready for dinner. And same with the pizzas. I grew up in Medford, Wisconsin, which is Tombstone Pizza capital. That's where the frozen pizza was. Okay. And so, I just grew up with frozen pizza. And so I'll make a ton of them. And then if we want pizza, I just throw it into the oven. And dinner's ready in 10 minutes.
Such great tips. I am loving those. So it's preparing in advance.
Yeah, I love food. I will always love food. I'm a former fatty, and I don't want to live on salads and chicken breasts. That is not I don't like that. And so I want tasty food. And in order to have that, I have to plan ahead. But it's totally worth it.
Yeah. Awesome. I love those tips. And so now tell us about your new cookbook. And actually, so I want to frame this too. We're going to be giving away a copy of Maria's new cookbook. It's the Quick and Easy Ketogenic Cooking Cookbook. So we're going to be giving that away. So for our audience, stay tuned over the next few days and watch. We'll be doing that on social media on our Facebook page. But so tell us about this new cookbook, because it's exciting.
That book actually came out about 2 years ago, but it's still a bestseller on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All of my tips and my top 10 recipes in 10 minutes, and then the top 9 in 9 minutes. And so, I try to make it as easy as possible. And like I told you, just some of those tips, there's a lot of slow cooker recipes in there, if that's your go-to. Really how I'll make the waffles, and I'll make a big batch of those, and then my kids can just toast them up in the morning like they were an Eggo waffle, right? Yeah. And so all of those tips are in there, and it's still a favorite of a lot of people's cookbooks.
Awesome. I think everybody's going to want that. So like I said, stay tuned on our Facebook page, and you can have a chance to win that for free. If not, where can they get that, Maria?
They can get that on Amazon. If you search, Quick and Easy Ketogenic Cooking, they have it at Barnes and Noble. Awesome. Some Costco's may have it.
I never even thought to check Costco. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm very blessed to have them pick up my books.
Yeah, awesome. Well, good. It's an amazing cookbook, and we're excited to give it away. Okay, so we've had a great conversation, and if we're going to wrap this up, just tell us, what is your wellness philosophy? How would you sum up why this is important and why you're committed to living a ketogenic lifestyle?
I'm very passionate about helping people, because it affected my life in a profound way. And even though I believe my children were made for me, and I'm very blessed to have them in my life, I might cry.
Oh.
But I was lied to, and I was told that that was my fate, is that I couldn't have children. And if I would have changed it at a young age, I could have changed my fate. However, I do believe I have 2 blessings, and I would never change it. But, I meet so many, especially women, that are dealing with fertility issues, and you are in charge of your fate, and food is medicine. There is no magic pill. It's what you eat that's going to change your life. And, I guess I'm kind of a no excuses woman when it comes to a coach, but, that's what I used to make excuses all the time for my life. I would be really good during the week and then cheat on the weekends. And it's not that I'm judging anybody, but I'm definitely here to make sure that you're successful. And that's why I'm so passionate about the recipes. I don't want to eat bark. Like, I want tasty food.
We shouldn't. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
I mean, I have ice cream every day. I really do.
It's just ketogenic ice cream.
It's just ketogenic ice cream. And nothing tastes better than fresh churned ice cream anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it takes time to plan ahead and make it. But I don't cook every day. I just plan ahead. So I have those easy things available.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I have been inspired myself, and I know our audience is going to feel inspired watching this as well. And I just want to thank you, Maria, for your commitment to bring the truth out and helping people, demystify the ideas that we've been fed about what it means to be healthy and how we have to live our lives and what we have to eat in order for that to happen. So thank you so much. I can feel that you're passionate about that. Okay. So one last thing before we go, Maria has a gift for our audience, and she's so generous to give this away. She has a copy. If you want to get a copy of her ebook, it's called Keto Adapted. You can go to ketoadapted.com on her website and find it there. We're going to put the link here with this video, so you should be able to find that. And there's a coupon code for you. You can use the coupon code KetonExpress to get that copy, that ebook, her Keto Adapted ebook, for free. So thank you so much for sharing that. And for being here today.
Thank you so much, Jill.
Yeah, you too. Thanks. And have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next time on the KetonExpress Summit.